Hello, my friends. Happy Monday. How are you? Hope you had a fabulous weekend. I sure did. We did lots of really cool things. We had baseball games and birthday parties and dairy bars and planting. We did it all. Spring has arrived, and so we had to cram everything into one weekend, even when it's chilly. So, so I hope that you are being told that I'm here. I'm live on Facebook and YouTube, so that makes it easy. Wherever you are, you can find us. And let me know. Oh, I can check over here, can I? Make sure that I'm really in live and it's not kidding. Let's see. It says I am, but you know, I don't necessarily, okay, it says a few seconds ago. So I'm excited to, whoops, let me do this because you're probably going to hear sound and that's going to be crazy. No? Okay, I guess you're not. Okay, I'll stop looking. Hey Jeanette, how are you? Welcome, welcome. All right, so a couple things before we get started. I'm going to do a layout with you tonight, and I wanted to just kind of touch base on what is happening around here and why I am so excited. Do you know how you have this idea but you can't quite do it? You know, like you've got to, oh, you're welcome. It's kind of like, you know, maybe you want to get a new piece of furniture, or you want to change the paint, or even something huge like where you're going to go on vacation. All of those things are like decisions, and you look into it and you think you got it, and then no, that was wrong, and you try that. Anywho, that's what has happened for me. I have been trying to figure out how to share my love of scrapbooking and make it what I do every day, and make it part of my work. Because, you know, when you do something that you love for work, then you'll never work a day in your life, right? I've heard that saying. So I've tried lots of different things that I do like, but scrapbooking just touches my heart. It gives me such pleasure to get the photos out of my phone, printed, and then into a layout. It doesn't have to be fancy. It doesn't have to have, you know, appear on the front cover of a magazine, but I want it to be neat and clean, because I don't like a lot of different colors and a lot of contrasting patterns and stuff. I just don't like that. That's my look. But I love sitting down with the girls. I have one boy grandson. Sitting down with grandchildren and looking through the book and talking about the memories. And when I talk to my kids, if it wasn't in the photo, it's a memory they don't have a very clear picture of. When we talk about Disney, for example, my number 2 son was only a year and a half, but he remembers because he remembers the photos that are in the album. When I talk about things with my sister, when we grew up, we remember things that were in the photo album. They were the kind that were magnetic and you put the sheet down on top. Yeah, those were those. Or even some that were black with little corners that you glued down and held the photos in place. Yep, we have those too. So in my heart, I knew that's what I wanted. I just couldn't make it. I just couldn't figure out how to put it all together and make it something that you would love too. Because I've tried other things and said, see, you love it, don't you? And then you went, no, we don't. I hate it, Deb, but I have found that we do love Inspire. And lots of new friends have joined us. It is open for this month. So think about, if this is something that you need a little nudge. You've got a lot of photos in a box. I still have them in a box over here. These are just like the last couple months. If you don't have grandchildren, but you have puppies, maybe you have cats, maybe you have flowers, maybe you go on trips and you want to record those to share. you got to get them out of your phone. It's really embarrassing to take your phone and say, see, this is where I went. Isn't this cool? And people squint and they try and see what it was, and you zoom in and then you lose the photo. Yeah, we look silly doing that. Sitting down on the couch is just the coolest thing ever. So I wanted to show you in the blog today, this is a picture of Lucy showing her baby sister, her parents, one of the pages in their album. They have a scrapbook album, but they also have photo albums. And this is one that's kind of a combo. And the Lucy, who's 4, calls it the love album. And she wants to show it to her little sister. They're the reason. That's why we do this. So, but we don't want to spend all day and all night, and we don't want to make ourselves crazy. It doesn't need to be a math problem. It doesn't. So that's what Inspire is all about. So if you're wondering if it's for you, you can read about it on the blog right here, just karamiller.com, right? Tells you what it is. The basic sign up, it's $30 a month. You get files, you get inspiration, you get a private Facebook group, you get a class, you get brushing up on design space so that you can remember all those things. And you get to gather with people that like what you're doing. Yeah, right, Jeanette? So much fun. So if you're looking for a place, I don't know if you're like me, I feel like over the last few years we've kind of drifted apart from each other, and I do everything online. So my online friends are still here, but we've been overwhelmed. We all have. We just did a Zoom over the weekend and caught up with each other and what's been going on. We didn't scrapbook a single thing. We just talked. It was great. We shared ideas. We shared projects that we're working on. That's what Inspire is all about. So if you're not sure which is the right one for you, the coupon codes have, yes, I'm reading too. The coupon codes aren't here right now, but Inspire is open until, you know what? And if somebody is to use a coupon code, I probably am not going to kick you out. So if you want to try one of the codes, you definitely can. The bonuses are still here for the yearly membership. Promise. And the 6-month code is still going to work. So, I kind of lied when I said the codes aren't here anymore. I'm going to let them stay until the end of the month. Originally, I was going to not let them go after Sunday, but then I remembered we had a busy weekend. So, Inspire will be open till the end of May, and then the doors are going to close, and you'll have to wait until we open it again, because we want to get some scrapbooking done, and I don't want to be having new people come in and new people go out, and just, it's going to be, we're going to close the doors, and we're going to hang out together, okay? So think about that. If you're not sure, or you can't do it right now, and you want me to save you a seat, I've got a couple of seats I'm saving already. Send me a note, and I will save you a seat until you're ready, okay? All right, so there's that. Let's come over here. I want to talk a little bit about what a simple SVG is too. Now, those of you that have been following me for a while know it's something I've talked about for a long time. I thought I had my simple one. Oh, it's right here. Hold on. A simple SVG is basically photo mats, a scrapbook layout design, and a double matting of your photo. Okay, so here's an example of one, right? And you're going to take that and you're going to put your photos on it. You're going to add a title. You're going to add a little tag to journal on, and bada bing, bada boom, look at that. Isn't that magical? You have a layout. All right, so let me show you how this works. It started like this. Photo, 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 Cricut title, Cricut tag, a little bit of handwriting, the who, what, when, where, and we're done. Okay? All right. So here, the one we're doing tonight is actually one of the May simples. So people that belong to Inspire, I'm going to move Cricut over a little. Sorry for the thump. Okay, don't fall off. They get 3 2-page layouts. So 6 simples come every month, plus overlays. And that's what I promise, but I always deliver more because, you know, I always give away more. So there's at least 6. And then we give more. Hey, Tammy. So several of the questions, Tammy actually asked it, and several other people have said, what do you start with first? And I've done it both ways. Do you start with a simple or do you start with a picture? I generally start with the photos. And then I look in Design Space to see, is there a simple that fits my photo? So for example, this is a vertical photo, right? If I had a simple that was calling for a horizontal photo, it might not really work if it was this specific. Hi, Tammy. So, Tammy number 2. So, let me show you on this one again. So this simple, the reason we like to call them simples, hi Martha, is they go both ways. They can, this is great for a horizontal photo, but this one, same thing, could be a vertical photo. So you're going to look through Design Space. Let me take you into Design Space for a second. When you are a member, you will start to collect simples. You know we like to collect, right? I've decided I'm not necessarily a paper crafter. I'm a paper hoarder. But I hope to get something done with them. So let me start with a new project. And I'm going to go into, I'll do it in uploads, but there's a couple different ways that you can do it. And we show you this so in the Design Space classes that we get together. We help you do that. And you will see your simples as uploads. You'll also see them if you go into the Cricut images and you search for the word simple, because I use it as one of my tags, and I'll show you how to use that. You will see a whole bunch of them come up. I've been doing these for a while, so I have a lot of them saved. Lots of different images. That's one of the originals, way back when. So today, I just want to use one. I'm going to let's grab this one. This is not the one that I've cut out. This is a different one. Hey, Marianne. So this is how they come in, right? And I'm going to ungroup them, and I'm going to zoom out a little so that you can see the whole thing. So these are two-page layouts, and they kind of look like ink blots or something. They're kind of tough to tell exactly what they are. But this, you can tell, is a vertical photo. This is a horizontal. Well, what if I have 2 vertical photos? I don't have a horizontal one. All right, well then I'm going to rotate this 90 degrees. And I like that, but you know, so now I have a horizontal, a vertical. I have a whole collection of photos. I'm going to look at my photos and decide what goes which way. Many of our simple SVG scrapbookers like to print them out like this, like to cut them out. And they keep them in an album, and then they can actually look at them and say, oh, this one would be good for these pictures, or no, this one would be good. So you'll learn what works best for you. Today, I want to work with the 2 May ones, and they have something that's a little bit different. I'm going to bring you in Design Space so you can see it. Just hold on. I'm flipping back and forth here. Technology at its finest. It's working. Okay, so this is the one that I have cut out. And you can see that they have these strips, and I wanted to do this so that it was a 2-page layout, and the strip would carry from one page to the other. Okay? All right, so here's our photos. Let's bring you back here. And then this is one. So the shadow looks like that. This top layer doesn't have those little wings, but the reason this is done like this is I do not have to measure a stinking thing. I don't have to try and figure out, well, where does this go in the middle of the page and how far down and how many centimeters. I don't have to do any of that. I just have to line this little baby up right in the middle. This is a Cricut layer. It cut that. And then I just take my adhesive, run it along the strip. Some of you have been here since the beginning. I told the story the other day. Simples were started and I was going to cut them out for you. Silly girl. I thought that was a good idea. Jeannie told me it was a silly idea and I said, oh no, I can do it. I can do it. It'll be okay. And I did it until I wore out a machine and I was losing my mind. It's all I did all day long was cut simples. And you know how when you cut something, it's great the first time you do it. Well, the second time you do it, the mat's not sticky, the blade's not sharp. Oh, good golly, it was a Cricut nightmare. So I said, well, either these are really silly, or I'm gonna let people cut them. So they turned into SVGs, and they've been there ever since. Now there's another part to the whole simple scrapbooking system in my brain. So this picture, this is my photo mat, this is my shadow, but now I've got my background accessory too that's going to go like that. Again, I don't have to measure. I can eyeball this. I can handle that. I can make sure these go close to the edges. Now remember, when you cut with a Cricut, it can only cut 11.5. So it's never going to be all the way across. What if I wanted those strips to go all these pattern paper to go all the way across? I would just cut them with a trimmer, right? But since there's times when Cricut just can't do what you want, but I'm okay with this. So before I go too far, I'm going to put this down because I got it. I'm committed. This is where it's going. And I might come back later and decide I'm going to add a title to it. I'm going to add an embellishment. But at the moment, I just want this down. Okay, so there is page number 1. How do the photos go to this? Well, here's the second part of Scrapbooking Simple. These are my little tool templates. Now, I dreamed this idea up because, again, I don't like trying to figure out what size does my photo need to be in some kind of photo editing program. And I don't want to have to figure out, well, if I crop it and it looks right and then it comes out skewed when I try and print it, or it's blotchy, yeah, all those things. I didn't want that. So I wanted something simple. So all my photos, I simply print at 4x6. These are from Shutterfly. They had a special, we printed a whole bunch of them, and now I have things to work with. Okay. All the spaces in the SVGs are the same and they coordinate with these. So there's always a 4x6 in one of them. So my plan was this photo was going to go there. Now this one, and I don't necessarily talk about what sizes they are, but I'll tell you, it's not a secret. It's just I don't want you to obsess about the inches because you don't need to know. What you need to do is to pop your template in and say, oh, that works. So when you look at the year option, you get these free. If you join Inspire for a year, you get these free. I just send them to you. If you don't, and you want to do it month by month, you can order these. And they're $30 for the set. And they come in the mail in a couple days and you'll have them. And literally, you won't need to replace them unless you lose them. They're easy to lose. I'll warn you. If they're on the table, they're hard to find. So that's why I put them in this little box so I don't lose them, because I lose everything on my table. Okay, so this one is going to go here and I'm going to crop my photo. So I'm going to look at these photos. Now, I don't really want to lose Mr. Beluga. But on here, I need to get Grace's hand and the stingray, but I don't really need the shoes. I don't really need these other kids. So if I lose those, I'm okay. Do you, Tammy? That's awesome. So I'm going to put this on the photo, and because it's clear, I can see the part that I'm going to get out of the deal. I'm going to go up a little more because that's actually Lucy, her sister. But you can, wherever you want, however the photo works for you. Now, I tend to hold mine in place with my thumb. Tammy, I'll put the link in after, okay? They're on my site, but I'll put the link in for you. I hold it with my thumb. Some people trace them. You can draw a line and then put them in your trimmer if you feel better. Some people are really brave. Anne uses her X-Acto knife. I'm scared to death, so that can't happen. I can't do that. It's totally up to you. However this works for you. I find using my thumb to be the easiest way. If you go to caramiller.com, Tammy, and anyone else, thanks, Marion. You go to caramiller.com. Right here where it says tutorial shop, I will put them in a better spot. I've been moving things around, but when you click on that and you count to 100, no, it doesn't take that long. They're right here. Okay. Thanks, Marion. Okay, so back here. So I got it in place. I'm holding it with my thumb. I held it the whole time I was yapping. I take long bladed scissors. These kind make it trickier to get a straight line. So use a long bladed scissor and you literally just put the blade against the template. That's why this works better than a cardboard. And I can see what I'm getting. And now you don't know that you missed anything out of that photo and it goes right there. Right? It doesn't look like I'm missing any of the important stuff. What did I lose? I lost that, which I guess that's probably important to the stingray, but not important to us. And I lost the shoes, right? But now I can pay attention to Grace and her hand touching it. And I'm going to put these down so I don't get carried away. Right? This is how easy it is to get this layout done. Put you guys down. And now we can work on page 2. This is, for those of you that are in Inspire, this is May 1. This is the first set, I think. I said that really confidently and then I'm not positive. I think it's 1. So there is that layout. Now I'm ready for a title. I'm ready for a journaling space. But I got the pictures down. You know, even if I only get to this today and I put these somewhere and I come back to it, at least I got them. All right, so there's that. Now I have, these are my other photos to work with, okay? Let's bring this layout in. This is going to take 3 photos, which is why I picked this one. And if you want to check, this one happens to be 3x4s. This is a size that I've recently added. Marion, yours is, it's in the envelope. It didn't make it to the post office today, but it will be there tomorrow. This size now I have found works super well because it gives you a lot of your photo, but you could also do it 2 different ways. So not on this layout, although I could take this layout and go this way if my photos worked better that way. And I might find they do. That's why we don't. It's my favorite color. I did that purposely. So let's see. Maybe I might want him to go like that because that works pretty well, right? It also works like this. But see, I'm missing what's in the water, so maybe this is how I want it to go. So let's see, that one would work that way. How about this one? That one would work better that way as well. See, I would get the girls and the beluga. And you would have thought that they were vertical. But all of these photos work this way. Okay, so photos have been decided. So now, instead of going across the page like I thought I was going to do, this one's going to go this way. But I kind of like it. And I could, if I wanted, so if I decide, well, you know what, I need to tie these together a little bit more. Maybe my title is going to go, maybe my title's going to go vertical over here. And I'm going to bring in some more of that same paper, and I'm going to put in my title in a vertical format that's going to bookend these two pages. But at least I'm going to go with it down. I'm going to get them down. So let's get you guys off. We're going to put this down first. And you're going to see how quickly these 2-page layouts come together. Really simple. Now, yes, I cut these out earlier, but honestly, this was 4 loads of my mat to get this. 5. Cricut cut the 2 black ones and the 2 white ones, and then this one, the one that cut these strips. So it was 5 loads of my mat. Went really fast. The only thing you have to be careful about is that you don't flip things over and then they don't fit. Because see, if I went this way, it wouldn't fit. So you always want to check, and that's why I like to make sure that I attach my white layer to the shadow layer. Now the shadow doesn't have to be black. Lately I've been kind of going with the black. I like how it pops off the page, but it doesn't have to be. It could coordinate. It could be a pattern paper. Now the reason, my design crazy behind this, the reason I do white under the photos is it stops your photos from bleeding off the edge or trailing into the pattern paper. Because, let me show you the difference. Okay, well, let's crop our photos and then I'll show you the difference. So, now you're going to go like this, right? I'm happy. I have to decide, do I want you over here? And then maybe I want something here. I don't know, I may not put it down yet because I'm still thinking. I want to see how the photos look. So let's bring my photos in. Honest to goodness, I am doing this with you. I did not plan this out ahead of time. I planned the photos, that was it. This is kind of how my brain thinks. Sometimes that's good, sometimes not so much. All right, so there's Grace, and that's her American Girl doll, Grace. So Grace often goes on trips with Grace. Lucy loves the belugas. Okay, there's number 2. And here is number 3. I think those are polar bears swimming. Okay. So for a long time I sold simples by themselves, and they just kind of, lots of you collected them, but I'm not sure they got used. So that's why I decided that Inspire needed to come about, because we need to use our stuff. I think I'm going to go like that. So I want to make sure that you scrapbook with them. We don't just collect them. They are cool. They're way cheaper than any other collection you might have had. And you notice there's no measuring. I hate doing that. I don't like measuring. Makes my head hurt. I don't want to worry that I didn't get it on straight. And I can just use the edges because I can eyeball that. I can see, well, is this straight? Yeah. Is this the same as this? Yep. I'm good. And you're going here. Okay. All right, I'm going to go over here with this, and it's going to leave me some room for a cute embellishment, or maybe I could even add another photo in here, right? I am going to, okay, let me show you what I'm thinking. Let me bring you into Design Space for a minute. All right, so back in Design Space. All right, I'm going to ungroup. This is the fun part for me. I love playing in Design Space. So remember we rotated this. No, it was the other way. Well, we'll just flip you. Okay, so that's the way we have it. And then we have this, right? It gets confusing sometimes. Yeah, right? Okay, so watch what we're going to do. I'm going to come over here. I want to show you how you can tell what your page looks like. I'm going to grab a shape and bring that in, and I'm going to change this to a 12 by 12. Now, as soon as I do that, you'll notice it pops up over here with a warning in that column. The reason it's doing that, it's because I can't cut a 12 by 12 with Cricut. So that's okay, I'm not going to cut it out. I just need it there as a placeholder to help me know how this page looks, right? So I'm going to make it blue. It's not really the right blue, but it's okay. And I'm going to send it to the back. All right, so here's my layout, right? There's layout number 1. Let's copy this. Bring this over here, send it to the back. All right, so this is what we have so far, right? So what I'm thinking is, let me take this one apart. Let's do a little surgery on this one so that I can use this vertical 4 by 6 over here, but I want the stripe. Yeah, I want the whole thing. All right, so I'm going to ungroup this. This is the beauty of these. You can do what you need to do with it. I make sure that you understand how to use Design Space to do what you want. I want you to be able to talk to Design Space to tell it what you want. All right, I want to slice off part of this. I want to slice off this piece right here. Okay? So I need to do this. I need to select, come back. Hello. Human. Does anybody know where, can you tell where they went? Look over here. See what happened? I'm at 224 inches. And if I look up here, I'm at 42 inches. I just got moved way off the page because I happened to click in the wrong place. So nothing went away, and I could tell nothing went away because I could see my layers were still here. I just couldn't find them. Where were they? They're still back up here in this top corner by 1, 2, 3, 4, but I was at 224 and 58. Yeah, no. So I'm going to select these two, and I'm going to slice, and I'm going to bring you, and now I have the photo the way I want it. Except I got that little piece left on the bottom, right? So let me see what I can do. I can bring you up. A little fussy, fussy, fussy. I'm going to get rid of that piece too. Now I will tell you, Design Space is a little trickier to work in, but we can do it. Delete that. Slice off. I usually pay more attention when I'm doing this, but you know, I'm looking at 2 cameras here. All right, we're good. We can live with that. Okay. So now let's bring you back up here, right? But now in order to make this match the rest, I need this. I need another one of those. Right? I'm going to pop that in there. That's going to look cool. I'm going to get rid of you. I like it. But now I've got to make it look right. I've got to make it look like that. Well, I don't want to be going and cutting and pasting and slicing and all of that hobbity blah. I'm going to move you out of the way. I'm going to select both of these, and I'm going to come up here to offset. I'm going to do a little bit smaller. Now, I would love to be able to share this with you, but Cricut won't let me. It says no. So look what I have. I've got this little blip here. I'd have to go in and be fussy with it. But basically, I have created by my own custom let me make it match. I can make it match here. Hold on. And I can make this page fit. Now I need one more going up here, right? I'm going to take you. I'm going to duplicate it. I'm going to bring it over here. And I'm going to rotate it. And maybe I'm going to add a shadow to it if I want to. I'm not going to right this minute because I just want you to see. And now I have made a totally different layout than what I thought, what the Simple was designed for, but you have been able to create your own layout. So the Simple doesn't lock you into something that doesn't work for your photos. We make it work. We can modify it. We can do whatever we want with it. Something else I might want to do, let me bring you back in Design Space. Maybe I don't need another photo. Maybe those all the photos I got. Okay, so let's start new. Remember, if I go away from this, it's gone forever. If I want to save it, because I might want to, maybe I like it. Maybe this is option 1. I'm going to click on Save. I'm going to call it Aquarium Simple Layout. I'd like to spell it right. 1. And I can add it to different categories. I've started my own collections here. So I have a Grace and Lucy. I have a layout. I'm going to put this in layouts. And I'm going to save it. Now, why would I save it in 2 places? If you work offline sometimes, you might want to save it to your computer. I am not. I work online all the time, so I don't need to fill up my computer with them. But if I were going to go to an event and I wanted to have my layouts with me and I didn't want to have to worry about the internet at the event, I could save them to both the cloud and the computer. And it kind of tells you that, but it talks in Cricut language and we don't always get what they mean. I'm going to say apply, and we're good. So now I'm going to start with a new one. So now I'm going to go into Cricut Images, and I'm going to search for aquarium. Maybe I'm going to find a super cool layout or embellishment that'll go on my layout. Not really. How about if I say beluga? Too many beluga whales? Nope. How about if we have whales? Oh, look at my options. All right, so I can come in here and I can find one that would work really well. I mean, the cartoon one's kind of cute. I like this one. But now I've got to figure out, well, what size works right? You know? I don't like get whale. That's kind of crazy. That doesn't quite go with my title, but let's take this guy. Now, notice it has an A. That means it's part of the Access subscription. So if you have a subscription, this won't cost you anything. I've also purchased it, so it's one of my... Who is this from? Create a Critter back in the day was a cartridge that I purchased and uploaded it. So I own this, but it's also part of Access. All right, back to my image. And where is she? I like this one that was facing us. I lost her. Oh, those are all cute. Oh my gosh, so many cute ones. I could be here for a while. All right, stop, Kiara, stop. Just pick one. Let's go with a whale of a time, because that can be my title too, right? All right, so add it to the page. Now the problem is, I've either got to get my ruler out and come over here and say, okay, where's that going to go, right? How's that going to fit? How big's it got to be? What am I going to do? Or, hi, Michelle. Or, I can go back into Design Space. I can bring those simples back in again. I'm going to just bring them in without, they don't need to be modified or any of those other things. I just need them again. I'm not going to cut them. I just need them to help me understand where they're going to go. So I'm going to ungroup this. This is why using your Cricut is an amazing way to scrapbook, because everything's here for you. All right, so I need to rotate this, right? And I need to flip it. And I need to zoom out. Okay, so I'm going to add that page again. So it's going to help me decide how big do I need this. Make it blue so everything's pretty. I'm going to send it to the back. Okay, so here's my layout, right? That's where I put it. And now I have this. All right, well, that's not big enough. So let's see how big we can make this. Oh, that looks pretty good. That'll work. I can offset that. I can give it a nice shadow. Now you're thinking nothing's happening when you click on that, but if you look closely, you'll see this green status line going back and forth. It takes it a bit. Once you see the little shadow around it, then you can say apply. Okay, so there is my title and an embellishment that's gonna go right on that page. I can cut this out of whatever I want. I could even cut that out of the pattern paper if I wanted. I think I probably would do a lighter blue. But I don't need to cut all this because I have it all. I've already cut it out already. So I'm just gonna, I can turn it off or I can delete it. So select this, turn it off. Select this, turn it off. And now I say make it. And Cricut's going to send it over. It's going to cut out the background, and then it's going to cut out the top. I'm going to glue them together and pop them right down on my layout right here. Right? So fun. And yet, I was able to get this done, even modifying, even looking for a title, even going crazy with it and not doing it the way I thought I was going to do it. I am ready to add my embellishment right here. And maybe now, maybe this is going to be page 1 and this is going to be page 2. Because now my title is going to go over here. So because I've kind of flip-flopped myself, my whale's going to go here. Now my journaling can go right down here, and I'm good to go. Even though the page doesn't go the same way, I'm fine. Now, had I decided at the beginning, I like my pictures better this way, I could have done this. Used a horizontal photo, clearly. Okay? All right, so that's how a simple works in a nutshell. And why, once you try it, I promise you, you will love it. You can go as crazy as you want or as simple as you want. It doesn't have to be nuts. Some people just go ahead and cut them out and just glue them on down. This is done with no modifications. This is exactly the way it came out of the Cricut. This one, come on, Mr. Paper. This one took some card SVGs. This is a card SVG, and a stamp, and I added it up here too. I just flipped it and put it in the other place. So there's lots of different things that you can do with these, but the thing that's consistent and makes your pages look great is they all have the same graphic base to them. They all have the photos with the shadows. We can thank Marion for shadows being a part of All Simples now, because she really liked them, and I said, you know what, I do too. So they did, some of the older ones didn't have a shadow layer to them, but they all have shadow layers now. What if you don't want the shadow layer? Well, just turn it off. You don't have to cut it. Just turn it off and just do one layer. Or maybe you want a super wide border on your photo. So here's an example. Let me grab a photo that's not in there. So let's say why these work. Maybe you just want a super wide. This color's terrible. Please disregard my color. Maybe I have a better color. Oh, yeah, this will work. Maybe I just want a wider mat on the photo, right? Look what happens if I just put, come here, you're stuck. If I just put the photo without the mat on that pattern paper, it just looks, I don't know, maybe this is not a good choice. It's water, corn, summer. But it gets lost. You don't see it. By adding that simple frame to it, it pops it right off the page. So by popping this down and adding this, even without your shadow, you could still use that. Now when you put your shadow in, it just makes your photos pop. And to me, that's why we're scrapbooking. It's the photos, right? Now what if I only have one picture of Lucy with corn? I don't have any other eating. I don't have any other picnic. That's the only one I have. Then I could do a sweet little embellishment here that I find from Cricut. Nice little ear of corn. Maybe a corn stalk, something. And I could do my title and journaling in this one, all in one. Or I could do my title over here. They make sure to leave you enough room to add to, but it doesn't look empty if you don't add to it. This one only has a title and a tag. But because I used a kind of fancy swirly paper, we're good. But even if I put it on a solid cardstock, we could still be good. I can't take this one off. I can do the other one though. I can do this one. Right? Because the Simple's got enough going on that your basic layout doesn't look basic anymore. Okay, cool. Well, thanks for coming, you guys. I'm glad we got to play a little bit. We got to experiment, try some different things. If you have any questions about membership, please ask. I would love to have you join us. Try us for a month. See what you think. If you want to leave at the end of a month, no hard feelings. I'll give you a kiss on the cheek and you can go on your merry way. It's really fine. It's really easy. But you could try it for a month and see what you think and how much scrapbooking you get done. All right, everybody. Get going and let's inspire everyone.